Now back to Mad Dog Unleashed with Christopher Russo on SiriusXM's Mad Dog Sports Radio.
All right, hour 3. Believe it or not, I swear to God, he texted me on Wednesday after he saw my medalist award in this tournament on ESPN, which we put it up. And he texted me at about an hour ago, where is the golf information? So I did it the way I wanted to do it because I want him with me when I tell him about this unbelievable back nine. Freddie, you there? Mr. Couples.
Doggy, yeah, there's no funny, silly business here. I have interest in a lot of golfers, and I've already heard the front nine. 42 for you is incredible, and 37 is just as darn good. So far after 9, you got one hell of a match.
Yeah, hell of a match with the great Peter Grant. And again, he's won about 5 or 6 majors at the club. He's really a 4 handicap playing to a 7. All right, so we go to 10, Freddie. I'm one up. We go to 10. I'm getting a stroke. It's a long par 4 up a hill. I hit a good tee shot. I hit a rescue club to the right of the green in a collar. His second shot is on top of the green in rough. He goes first. He hits a great rescue. He hits a great chip, leaves it below the hole about 6 feet. That's a tough 2-putt for me. I left myself about an 8-footer. I have to protect the half. I can't try to ram it in. I got to protect the 5 for a 4. That's what I do. He makes his putt, 1 up, going to 11. You follow me?
Okay. I'm following you.
All right, we go to 11. Long par 5. All right? I do not hit a good drive. I do not hit a good second shot. I'm in between bunkers. I'm about 210 away. He's right down the middle. He's about 100 yards in 2. I'm getting a stroke. It's a 6th handicap hole. I hit a 5-wood. I pop it up, but I get it way down there. I get it below the bunkers about 60 yards away. I hit a gap wedge. I get it on the green. I figure I got a good chance for a 6 for a 5. I had a tough 6-footer for the 6, but Peter leaves it in front of the green and knocks in a 15-footer for birdie. My 6 doesn't matter. We're even. You follow?
Oh no, I'm. What you said about 20 minutes ago is you needed to be 2 up after 12, dog.
Now I'm only even. I'm only even.
Yeah.
Now the wind, unbelievable wind. Into the wind, half this back nine. 12 is an easy, reachable par 5 for him in 2, but he can't do it with the wind. Make a long story short, he hits 3 very good shots, and I have to hit a 5-wood from about 185, 190 yards into the wind to get on the green. I don't do that. I do not play the hole well. I have to get up and down out of a bunker just to get a 6. He plays the hole like he should. He gets the 5. I get a double. I'm 1 down.
Oh, my God. Okay.
We go to 13. It's the hardest hole, par 3 to par in this golf course. It's an impossible green. It's 208 yards. He hits it in front of the green. I don't use the 3-wood, which I usually do. I got a little nervous. I hit the rescue club, which I've been hitting great. I hit it pin high, left rough. He hits a bad putt, leaves it way above the hole about 10 feet. I have to put this ball on the green because at worst I got to have the hole. I'm getting a stroke on 14. I hit a good chip. He misses his putt. I knock in a 10-footer for a 3. Win the hole. Even.
Boom. Boom.
Even. We go to 14. I'm getting a stroke. I now will get strokes on 14, 16, and 18. I hit a big drive. Top of the hill, I'm 109 yards away. He's in the middle of the fairway. I take a pitching wedge out. The green, it's a dog leg left. The green is protected by a right bunker. I say, Chris, hit this damn thing on the green. Get a 4 for a 3. He'll have a tough time beating that. And you can go to the par 3 15th 1 up. What do? I chunk a pitching wedge. I'm not all's lost now because I can still get a 5 for a 4. But I First time all day. Well, second time was in the bunker on 4. I did it. I hit a terrible gap where I have a sand wedge into the bunker. He's on a green and 2. Very good 2-putt. He's got a 4. I got to make a 20-footer for a half. I don't make it. I'm 1 down. Par 3, 15. It's 140 yards. Bunkers, marsh, road on the left. He's in the middle of the green. I take an 8-iron out. I hook it onto the road. He gets a 2-putt 3. I hit the second one on the green. Doesn't make any difference. Double bogey 5. I'm 2 down. We go to 16. Toughest hole in the golf. I think it's the toughest hole. It's a long dogleg par 5 over marsh with the tee shot into the wind. He hits a good drive. I must hit this. I'm down 2 with 3 to go. I must hit this drive over this marsh. I do. I go next. I'm around a tree. I have to at least have this hole, most likely win it. I hit a great 5 wood. He hits a good second shot. I'm 190 yards away, 185 yards away. Third shot, into the wind. I know I got to get a 6. I took the rescue club out. I said, Chris, this is not going to get there. I take the 7 wood out. Chris, this is not going to get there. I take the 5 wood out. I hit a line drive straight at it. Stops in front of the green in the fringe in 3. I can putt it. Peter hits his third shot, gets a little tight, hits it way right. He has to go first. He hits a sand wedge over 2 bunkers on a green, but it rolls way down the hill. Putts it up. He's putting for a 6, but he's got a downhill putt. All I got to do is hit this putt close. I do. He gives me a 5-footer for the 5 because the 2-putt I would have won anyway. 5-footer for the 5. I'm 1 down. That's a hell of a 5, Freddie. It's a hell of a 5.
Yes. Oh, yeah, it is.
I go to 17. I think it's the hardest par 3 in the course. It's 196 yards into the wind to the Long Island Sound with a false front. I take a 3 wood out. I go first. 10 feet from the pin. 10 feet. Peter, maybe getting tight, hits the ball in the left marsh. We go up. We can't find it. He's got to take a free drop. He hits a nice sand wedge between 10, 12 feet. But I got a downhill 12-footer, or more than that, 15-footer. But I get it close enough, leave it below the hole. He doesn't make his putt for a 4, gives me the 3, even. I par 16 and 17 after being 2 down to get even. We go to 18. 18. Over marsh again, out of bounds right with the driving range. Little pot bunker in front, 240 yards away. Pins in front on the 18. It's a great finishing hole. A lot of trouble. I hit a good drive over the marsh. I thought it may have rolled in the bunker. It did not. Peter, right in the middle of the fairway. All right, here is my first chance, Freddie. I'm getting a stroke. Mm-hmm. Peter hits his second shot into the right swale. I know where it is. That's going to be a very hard up and down, even for a club champ. I'm 151 yards away, Fred, into the wind. I should have hit my ping, my 150-yard club. I hit that rescue club again, the one I hit on 13. I say, Chris, if this ball goes on the green, this is going to be one of the great quarterfinal comebacks in the history of this tournament. People are watching. We had it on Golf Genius so you could follow the scores all day. My kid at Northern Arizona on top of it. I hit the rescue. I hit it great, but I hit it on a line drive, and it rolled onto the top right hill. All right, I probably could putt it, but I'd figure just hit this ball on the green, get a 5, get the hell out. I hit a sand wedge. I left it a little short. It stayed on the collar. My fourth shot went a little too far past the hole. So I went first. I missed the putt. Pete had a 9-footer to win the match. Missed it. 6 for me, 5 for him. We go to the first playoff hole. Back to 1. Think about it. Our other 2 people in our group also were tied. They had to go to 1. Anyway, I did not hit a good tee.
Yeah.
Getting a shot on 1, par 5. I don't hit a good tee shot. My second shot, I hit a right tree, but the ball fortuitously right in the middle of the fairway. Pete can't get there in 2. He didn't. He hit a decent second shot, but he's probably 75 yards away. I got to hit this ball on the green. I'm a 198 away, Freddie, but I got to go down. It goes downhill. So I didn't want to hit a 7-wood or a 5-wood because I don't want to go above the hole, and then I got to putt downhill. So I hit a rescue club, the same one I hit on 18. I pound it. I get up there. I cannot believe where the ball is. It's in the apron above the hole. Pete hits a wedge. He's about 15 feet short for a birdie. I go first. I leave it about 8 feet. I go 6 feet past the hole. Pete misses his birdie putt. He's 2.5 feet above the hole for his 5. I make this putt, Freddie. I'm going to win because I'm going to be 5 for a 4, and he can't do it.
4.
I don't make the putt. Now, I was nice, and Peter had been great to me all day. I said, let's go to 2. Everybody afterwards said, boy, Chris, you gave him that 2.5-foot downhill putt there. Peter's a good man. He had given me some putts all day. I don't want to win that way. So we go to the par 3, 2. Even. Second playoff hole. People watching.
Oh, boy. No.
142. No shots. 142 uphill. I hit a 7-iron at 10 o'clock. I hit it 10 feet and got a par. I take the same club out. I had the tee box because, remember, I had 117. So I had the tee box. I hit a great shot. I thought it was in 5 feet. Peter hits the ball. It's an uphill par 3. He hits it in the right swale. So he's going to have an uphill chip to a pin that's in front. We ride up there in the cart. I'm figuring I'm 8 feet away. The ball is way in the back it's on a green, but it's way in the back. I have a long downhill 35-foot putt. Pete chips. He hits a great pitch. He hits it maybe 10 feet. I have to be careful because it's a downhill putt. If I hit it too hard, Freddie, it's going to go right down. It's going to go into the collar below the hole. I leave it at the crevice. Did not hit a good putt. I got a 20-footer for par. I don't make it. I get the 4, and Peter makes his 10-footer for 3 and beats me on a second playoff hole. Now, here's the issue. 3 times, Freddie, on 18, on 1, and on 2. I had the right club in my hand all 3 times. And all 3 times, I hit the ball as flush as you can hit it. And all 3 times, I hit it long. Long by maybe 5 yards, 10 feet.
Yeah.
And then I did
just being pumped up.
Maybe that was it, Freddie. And I did not make the putt on 1. My buddies, including Slappy One Doug Smith, who had already won, was shocked that I didn't mark my ball on the par 3 playoff hole. There was no dirt on it anyway, but mark the ball, bend down, take a look at it, because I did kind of rush it, because I felt, okay, he hit a good sand shot to get it within 10 feet. But remember, Freddie, I'm getting a shot on 3. Also remember this. Remember this. It's 2:45. 2:45. Molly Russo, on a 90-degree day, is going to be sitting outside of the Congregational Church in Westport, Connecticut, waiting for her son to pick her up right at 4 o'clock, and I'm 25 minutes away. So I think in my head, I was a little worried about that, so I probably did not take as much time as I should have taken. Now, when I finished, I shot an 88 to his 78. And it tells you how the handicap works. He's given me 11 strokes, and he shoots a 78, and I shoot an 88. You don't think handicaps work in golf? Think about that, Freddie, for a minute. Think about that.
Yeah,
but
dead on. Dead on.
Dead on. Everybody that I spoke to after I was done, I had a beer. Ralph Bocuzzi, all these great golfers at Shorehaven who've won multiple championships, including the Slowpoke Divine, said, Chris, you took the two-time champ here who's won we have 5 majors at Shorehaven, who's won 5 majors, and you took him to the second playoff hole. Not only that, you were down 2 on 16 and had 2 chances to win. You have nothing to be upset about. Now, I'm going to be honest with you, Freddie. It took me probably 3-4 hours to get it out of my system. Now, I'm going to read you Peter Grant, who I now love. He's such a good guy. Here's Peter. Here's what he texted me. I'm going to give you the time. 5:26 on Saturday afternoon. My mother's safe in her condo. I'm at home. I have a dinner date with my wife's friends. Here's what he says, and I want you to respond. That was a great match today. Was really enjoyable to be a part of. Your game is getting better every year. By next year, you're going to be a 13. Enjoy your night. PG. I said right away, loved every minute of it, Pete. Every minute. And then I said at 7:29, tremendous up and down, meaning on 2. Here's what Pete said. Yes, you got unlucky, though. Your ball mark was right up in front of the green that rolled a long way back there. You hit 2 amazing shots, the 3rd into 16 and your 17th tee shot. Now, now, I had a chance to get to the semifinals, which would have meant Sunday morning golf, no church, perfect. And then if I ever won that, July 4th, I could have talked about it for a week on Sirius XM. Not to mention the fact I could have talked about it Wednesday on First Take. Stephen A's off. And I lost. Let me hear your reaction. Go ahead.
Well, my reaction to the whole thing is, I'm sitting with George Downing, my radio partner, and we love you like brothers. And so he told me about your match last week, and then I replied. And so the game of golf, I have a quick question for you, though, before I reply to Peter. For the fans, your fans or your listeners, were you nervous to a point where, wow, I was more nervous than I thought I'd ever be?
I was nervous. There's no way you can't be nervous in that event. I was nervous on 1. I was a little nervous on 2, but I hit good shots. I probably was a little nervous putting. I probably should have studied those putts a little more carefully, but you got a lot of people behind watching. You got 8, 9 parts behind you. The other twosome in our group, their match was over. One guy birdied the first hole, so that match was over. I got Dougie, who had won on the 3rd playoff hole, and the Slowpoke, and Mike played great, 3 over, and he lost on 16. He was given 7 shots. That's how good he played, and he lost. So I had a lot of people watching, Freddie, and they probably got a little tight. But let me hear your reaction. Go ahead. Let me hear it.
Well, my reaction is, now you've told us who the other 2 players were in your group, so you're the high handicap. Peter said a very nice thing. You'll be a 13 soon. You're going to compete in this event. Sounds like you might have, should have won. But the best news is that 5 of the last, including the playoff, you flushed shots, which a lot of people, they don't do that. I mean, a couple of shots you said I laid up or I hit a tree and it got through the tree. But from 16 on, you flushed almost every shot. And under pressure, you're trying to make. Well, another thing I might say is a couple of times you said, all I needed to do here, all I needed to do. I've done that so many. It's not about me, but I've done that way too many times. That doesn't work. What you needed to do, possibly taking 10 more seconds on a couple of those putts or shots, because anytime, Chris, you're telling yourself, I don't mind, Chris, you can't get this rescue there. Chris, I can't get this there. I got to hit the 5-wood, and you flush it, and it goes to the back of the green. But you've got so many golf buddies. But, again, that foursome you played in, you battled with three of the best players in the club, it sounds like. I mean, you said Peter's won this thing over and over. And then for him to text you and say it was a hell of a match, you played your heart out. I mean, I play with guys all the time, too, that are higher handicaps. It's very difficult, very difficult. So a lot of times your brain's telling you, make a 5 here, Chris. He's going to make par. 5 for 4 will tie him. You did that a lot, but then when the nitty-gritty, after you won, 2 of those holes to go from 2 down to even, you did nothing really wrong. I mean, I don't know what the green is where you didn't get it down off the top tier. Then you really left yourself with nothing. But this golf course ain't easy. But I feel like what you told everybody, you played 18 holes, actually 20 holes as well as you could.
Yeah. The problem is, Freddie, I'm 64 years of age. I'm not going to get any better. And you got 50 guys qualifying for 15 spots, everything in the hole, and I shot an 85. Minus the 19 handicap, that's a 66. That's the thing you saw on ESPN. Now, if I do that and get into the tournament, I got to make a run in that tournament. Now, I won a round, and I had a chance to win a second round, but I got to take advantage of that. I've only won one major at the place, and that was with my old partner, Jim Krauser, as a member. It's not quite the same. This is an individual event. I had a chance there, Freddie. It would be like you at the Masters. That ball did not go in the water there at Rays Creek. If it did, you'd say, Jesus, I had a chance to win a major, and I didn't do it. It didn't, and you recovered and you won. I had a chance to win a major, and I hit a shot on 18 too far, and I was afraid to chip it really properly. I got a little tight on a couple of putts, and I let him steal it from me on those last 3-4 holes. And when you won your major, you're a young man. You had lots of great golf ahead of you. Ryder Cup, TPCs. Chris Russo doesn't. That's what bothers me. Let me hear.
Well, the fact that you're a competitor and you like to win and you didn't, listen, I've sat a lot of Sunday nights and Mondays just like you did. You got over it a few hours later and you got a text from Peter and probably didn't make you feel any better. But I don't think you should really look at it that way. I think that you should look at it this way. For Chris Russo to shoot what he shot, I think there was an 82 in there, an 84.
85, 84, 85, 84, 88 is the 3 scores.
Right. And the 88 was 46. You shot 42 the front to battle with this guy to get one up. So for you, I tell everyone all the time, when they get a little older, you don't have to hit balls like for 2 hours, like Rory McIlroy or Tiger Woods does, or Scotty Scheffler. But if you give it 20 minutes a day when you get time, you can kind of keep that, and you can cut a shot here or there. In my opinion, sounds to me like you gave a few shots away. Otherwise, you shoot 84, 85, and you win this match. So a little bit of it came down to short game. And again, if you watch guys, for instance, this Ashke Batea looked like one of the best putters on tour, and he got on 18, and he had his only 3-putt in like a month, and he loses. But there's so much pressure on that. Sounds like you handled the pressure very, very well. You flushed some shots, but he might have been a little bit better around the greens only because he's a single-digit handicap, and he's won this thing several times.
Well, what is your feeling on 18 before you go? I know you got a ball game to go to. I'm on.
Right. Well,
I'm in the rough.
Right.
Do I chip there? Or do I putt there just to make sure I'm on the green to give myself a chance for a 5?
Well, that's a great question. So not being there and watching, standing at the back of the green, you could have done it a million ways. I guess the biggest thing is when you get a shot that you kind of know you can maybe do a little bit better. That's what most people want to do. I don't know if you could have putted it safely. I don't know if it was in the swale or if it was just over the green.
No, it was in rough. I was about 3 yards, 4 yards, no, less than that. I was about maybe 5 feet from the edge of the green. Second cut of rough. Second cut of rough.
Right. So anyone listening, whether you're a tour player or Chris Russo as a 16 or 12 or 19 handicap, you want to make sure you get whatever you're trying to do into a spot where you have a easier putt. For instance, even if you were to have putted it or chipped it down there 6 feet short, it would have been a hell of a shot, but now you got a downhill curler. Maybe you hit it a little hard and it goes 15 feet by, putting uphill. You always want to have that putt. And then, of course, in the playoff hole where you didn't get it down the ridge, that's a killer right there. But you hit so many good little chip shots. You won so many holes. Sounds to me like you battled on the par threes, which last week you said, look, I'm not going to get shots on par threes. That's where I got to hang in there. But you won 2 of the last 3 holes. Hello.
Yeah, I got to take it that way. And surprisingly enough, I thought Peter was going to romp. Peter lost yesterday in the semis on 17. How about that?
Wow.
Yes, he did.
So does that tell me then possibly you could have, if you beat Peter, you could have won this match yesterday?
Well, Peter was giving, I think Peter gave 5 yesterday. He gave away 5 strokes yesterday. He had to give me 11. And Peter shot a 39 on the front, not a 37. And I think he had a 43 or a 44 in the back. And he missed a 4-foot putt on 17 to go to 18, 1 down. He missed a 4-foot putt.
Yeah.
I'll tell you right now.
Well,
I'll tell you right now, Freddie. At my age, I love tennis too. That was the most competitive, pressure-packed 4 hours of sports that I've played in 35, 40 years. That's what I'll tell you.
Well, that makes every listener who's not really interested in the NBA or the NFL, all the golfers that listen to you, including me, I pay attention to your game when you go to Europe and you go to these places. You play well. You really do. I mean, that's why you get handicap strokes so you can compete. And like you said, they hit your handicap and Pete's right on the button. It's just one putt was made and one was missed, and that's why you lost on 20 holes.
Yep. I love you, Freddie. Thanks for listening. You're my buddy.
Okay, Chris. Thank you. Great point.
You got it. Our good buddy of Mr. Couples. Update with Chris Lepresti. He's on Mad Dog Unleashed. Don't go away.